The European Union is mulling retaliatory tariffs on the United States after Donald Trump announced 10% penalty on 8 countries for opposing his Greenland takeover plan. According to a Financial Times report, the EU nations are considering tariffs on the US worth 93 billion euros, or restricting American companies' access to the bloc's market in response to Trump's threat. The tariff list was drafted last year, but the issue was postponed until February 6th to avoid a full-scale trade war. According to the FT report, EU envoys discussed the introduction of tariffs and a counter-coercion tool that could restrict access to the internal market. The countermeasures are being developed to give European leaders leverage during their meetings with Trump in Davos. In a Truth Social post, Trump announced a 10% tariff on Denmark, Norway, Sweden, France, Germany, the United Kingdom, Netherlands, and Finland on any of their goods entering the United States from February 1. He added that the tariff would be increased to 25% on June 1 if the Greenland agreement is not reached till then. Since the beginning of his second term, Trump has repeatedly said that Greenland should become a part of the United States, even threatening to slap tariffs on countries that oppose his ambitious plan.
And I may do that for Greenland, too. I may put a tariff on countries if they don't go along with Greenland, because we need Greenland for national security. So I may do that. I'll give you a little, I'll take you out of that. In fact, that'll end up being the story. But actually, this is a much bigger story because we're reducing healthcare by numbers that you haven't seen.
European leaders have slammed Trump over his tariff move. French President Emmanuel Macron, in an X post, said, "No intimidation or threat will influence us, neither in Ukraine, nor in Greenland, nor anywhere else in the world when we are confronted with such situations. Tariff threats are unacceptable and have no place in this context. Europeans will respond in a united and coordinated manner should they be confirmed. We will ensure that European sovereignty is upheld." British Prime Minister Keir Starmer slammed Trump tariffs, calling it completely wrong. Applying tariffs on allies for pursuing the collective security of NATO allies is completely wrong. We will of course be pursuing this directly with the US administration, Starmer posted on X.
I wanted to tell you that the forecast pause, or rather the prediction of an increase in tariffs against those nations that have chosen to contribute to the security of Greenland, pause, in my opinion, is a pause mistake, and obviously I do not agree with it. I share the attention that the American presidency pays, as I've told you many times, to Greenland and the Arctic in general, which is a strategic area where clearly excessive interference from hostile actors must be avoided. But I believe that in this particular sense, we should interpret the intention of some European countries to send their troops to actively participate in ensuring greater security, not in the sense, let's say, of an initiative taken against the United States, but rather towards other actors. Clearly, Pompeo, it seems to me that there has been a problem of understanding and communication on this matter. As far as I am concerned, I continue to insist on the role of NATO. NATO is the place where we must try to organize together deterrence tools against hostile interferences in a territory that is clearly strategic. And I believe that the fact that NATO has started to work on this is a good initiative, and all the more reason for this because NATO has begun to do this work. I believe it is a mistake today to impose new sanctions. I believe it is necessary instead to reopen the dialogue on this issue and to avoid any escalation from this particular point of view. And that is precisely what I am currently working on. I spoke with President Donald Trump just a few hours ago, to whom I clearly expressed my thoughts. And I also spoke with the Secretary General of NATO, who confirmed to me that NATO is beginning to undertake efforts from this perspective. Clearly, throughout the day, I will also be speaking with European leaders. I believe a meeting has been convened at the core level for now of the European Union, but I believe that at this particular stage, it is very important to speak with each other and to avoid an escalation, because we can work together to achieve a common objective that is both useful and necessary for everyone.
Trump's tariff announcement sets up a potentially dangerous test of U.S. partnerships in Europe. Denmark has struck a defiant note, opposing Trump's plans to take Greenland, which is a Danish territory.
And I also just note that, yes, the American president is unconventional, to put it diplomatically, but America is also more than just the American president. I have just been there. There are also checks and balances in American society. It actually gives me a certain belief that when we stand united and when we are capable of explaining also what exactly is at stake, and it's not just for Europe, that important things are on the line. There are also very significant things at stake for the United States. So we absolutely must get through this situation. I mean,
you simply have to believe in it, and you simply have to work for it.
Thousands of people marched through Copenhagen in wake of Trump's Greenland annexation plan.
Tensions boiled over outside the U.S. Embassy as thousands marched in protest, accusing Washington of overreach and demanding respect for Greenland's right to decide its own future. In Copenhagen, thousands marched through the city streets toward the American diplomatic mission, waving Greenland's red and white flag and carrying banners that left no room for compromise. Some wore red baseball caps, not with "Make America Great Again," but with a sharper message, "Make America Go Away."
We're protesting against the orange dictator in the U.S. who is trying to bully his way to undermine the sovereignty of the Greenlandic people and take away their right to decide who they want to be part of.
This is important for the whole world. There are many small countries. None of them are for sale.
The protests erupted in direct response to President Donald Trump's repeated demands that Greenland be ceded to the United States, demands he has framed as a national security necessity, citing the Arctic island's strategic location and vast mineral wealth. Trump has even refused to rule out the use of force. Across the Atlantic, the defiance is just as strong. In Nuuk, Greenland's capital, thousands took to the streets in the rain, marching toward the U.S. consulate. They chanted Kalalit Nunaat, the island's name in Greenlandic, and sang traditional Inuit songs, turning the protest into a powerful display of identity and resistance. Greenland's Prime Minister Jens Frederik Nielsen, waving the national flag, addressed the crowd to thunderous applause. All political parties in Greenland support eventual independence, but they agree on one thing now. They would rather remain part of Denmark than be taken by the United States.
Of course we are not for sale. We are a free people. We have always been a free people. We have never had wars. We have togetherness in our mindset. We take care of each other. And that's something actually a lot of other countries in the world can learn from us, that we take care of each other and protect each other. So that's why we're here.
It's very tiring and it takes a lot of energy. And what we want to use our energy on is just to live here, live with each other, live in peace and in the country that we love and we respect. We know the Arctic, we know our country, and we are the ones to care for it. And it's been quite a big pressure from the whole world for us to take decision. We didn't never ask to have this situation. We never asked for this position we have right now, a situation. So we just want to live in peace and quiet in our country. So we hope this pressure will be removed from us.
It's very clear that we want our own country for ourselves, and we won't receive anything from Trump, no matter what.
We are very happy that we have started the dialogue with the U.S. administration. We don't think anything is solved yet, and we insist on going into the dialogue with the say that we want to evolve Greenland on our own terms. We welcome the U.S. to do so with us. We understand their needs, but there is a red line, and that red line was shown today. We are not for sale, and all we want is collaboration and bilateral. We have always welcomed collaboration with the outside world and with the U.S., and now we are talking about being occupied or bought. It is unacceptable, and it affects the people of Greenland. As you can see today, it has a lot of resonance with them. They want to show their disgust with this.
Organizers estimate more than 20,000 people joined the Copenhagen March, a number nearly equal to the entire population of Nuuk. Parallel demonstrations unfold in Aarhus, Aalborg, Odense, and other Danish cities coordinated by Greenlandic associations, demanding respect for democracy, human rights, and self-determination.